Hey guys, it's Raquel and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another Wine and Dollies video for June, and I know we just had one 2 weeks ago, but these Wine and Dolly videos are supposed to be happening at the end of each month, on the last Sunday of each month. That's what I planned for originally, so it gives me a chance to tell you guys about everything that's happened throughout the month and what's going on in my life, in regards to dolls and stuff like that. So over the past few months, you guys have definitely noticed that I haven't been posting my Wine and Dolly videos in the proper months or on time at all. And that's due to a subject I have touched upon before, but I'm going to be touching upon in this video as kind of a huge update in regards to like my mental health and well-being and just overall. So it's kind of crazy to say, but in the past 2 weeks since I posted my last my May Wine and Dollies video, a lot of things have happened. First and foremost, because this is a doll channel, I did get a couple new dolls. One I purchased off of my friend Carol, who is the co-owner of Black Rattle Dolls, so I will show you her at some point. I probably will do like a mini box opening video in regards to her, but it's not really a box opening video because I've already opened the box, but just kind of show you the box, the casing, how she came, like that type of stuff. The other one is, and I may have mentioned this beforehand, I can't remember if I mentioned it in my previous video, but another one is this little centaur boy. I keep calling the centaur a boy. It's actually a girl. It's a Doll Leaves centaur, limited edition. And I can't remember what the sculpt's name is called, but it actually arrived today, and I think that's why I'm mentioning this, is because I was just kind of like organizing some of my doll stuff, and like I had the box in hand for the new doll. I had the box in hand for the second hand doll that I got from Carol. So that's probably why I'm talking about them again. If I have talked about them before, I'm sorry if I have. I'm kind of losing my days a little bit. So that's kind of what's going on with that. As you guys saw yesterday, I did post a new mystery bag opening. I was really excited about the outfit that I got. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, so if you haven't seen it already, go check out my Instagram. It's there. It's such a cute outfit on Kyogo, so I think she may take it, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And I'm excited about all the other box openings that I'm going to be doing, and mystery bags and all that type of stuff, because it's all here, down here, just ready to go for when I'm ready. But that's not the only news that I've received in the past 2 weeks. So I'm about to get into some stuff that's a little bit more serious, a little bit more, as I mentioned, about my mental health and stuff like that. So if you're uncomfortable listening to that type of stuff, don't hesitate to click away. But I wanted to give you guys an update on how things are going, because the breakup with my ex was really, really hard on me. It was almost like a traumatic event, almost PTSD in a sense, where I keep repeating stuff over and over in my head. I'm in this loop that I can't seem to break out of. And even though I have definitely gotten better since the breakup, where I obviously don't cry as much, I'm not as emotionally exhausted because of it, it still haunts me. And that's the best way I can put it, is anytime something happens that I find is embarrassing, or where I feel humiliated, it sticks with me forever. And it takes a lot to push it down, and depending on what it is and depending on severity, it's harder for me to deal with it. The best example I can give is when I was working in the prop industry. I worked for a company for a year, and it was amazing. I had so much fun. I loved making props, and due to business reformity and stuff like that, because I was the newest employee, I got laid off. I only had worked there for a year, but it took me a year and a half to go and get my stuff. So my toolbox and everything like that had stayed there for a year and a half. And I was really, really lucky that these guys were really kind and that they didn't like demand that I take my stuff. They understood I was having trouble dealing with it. But you can imagine how if I only worked for the company for a year, and to me it was my dream job, so I loved it, and it took me a year and a half to get the stuff back, how long is it going to take for me to truly, like, in my head, be okay with what happened in terms of the breakup? Especially when I didn't have a solid reason as to why it happened. Like, at least with the workplace, they gave me an explanation. We're downsizing. I'm sorry. That was my answer. It took me a while to get over it, but yeah. But with the breakup, it wasn't. And there was a lot of underlining depression issues that I've had over the years that I've kind of masked. I've pushed down. I've suppressed. And every now and then I'll have explosions where it gets too much and I explode. But I didn't really notice that it was depression. I didn't really understand what I was feeling and what I was going through. I have vivid memories of all the instances that have caused said depression, but I always pushed them down. I never really, I guess, health-wise dealt with it, I guess. So because I keep mentioning depression, pretty much what ended up happening was I got referred to a therapist who was going to do a consultation with me, and within the time slotted for the consultation, I have been formally diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So that day was really hard because I had been waiting since February to get this appointment, and that day I was very emotional, cried a whole bunch, but I felt a little bit of weight lifted off my shoulders, because finally it's not just all in my head. I'm not thinking that I may have depression, I may not, because I never thought of myself as a depressed person. And to explain all these things that I was feeling and I thought, and all the instances that I can remember that make me feel like shit, and for those to kind of be all linked together, and for him to say this is depression and you've had it for a long time, but the breakup, you're right, the breakup kind of made it explode to the point where you actually noticed it and it became a bigger issue than what it was, is relieving to me, because now I have an answer. I have depression. I'm going to get it fixed. I have anxiety. The severity of the anxiety has to be determined by my therapist, but not the guy that I previously spoke to. There's a lot of good news and a lot of great news that came from my appointment, which is one of the things that they mentioned was that I'm not a severe case of depression. I'm not a severe case of anxiety. It's not like, for him, he's like a psychiatrist therapist. Like, he's at like one of the top places where you can get therapy, and like, he didn't think that place was right for me because I'm not in such a bad situation. Like, it's a lot more minor than what he deals with and what his facility deals with. So I have to go to a different therapist. that does more of the like lie down on the couch, talk about my feelings type of therapist. So to me, that's amazing. That makes me feel a lot better. That it's not like a be all end all serious situation. It's just, it's there, and it can be fixed, and it can be eased to the point where I'm not having this depression anymore, or I can handle it a lot better. So therapy is definitely on the table to help deal with the way that I think about traumatic events and embarrassing events. So I'll be doing therapy, but also in conjunction with that, I have been prescribed antidepressants. Now, I don't know what type yet. I haven't gotten the prescription yet because my doctor couldn't get back to me on the Friday, so he's probably gonna call me tomorrow. But I'll be getting them sometime this week, and they've already stressed that it's going to be a low dose. It's not going to be anything like, I know like in theory and in practice they start with the low dose and then they find where it needs to be, but the way that they were explaining it to me, the therapist was explaining it to me, was that just based on what I was talking about and my own self-awareness, that this antidepressant for me is just going to be a little bit of a pick-me-up to help kick things off and to work in conjunction with the therapy. So we're focusing more on the therapy, and the antidepressant's just there to kind of ease and help along the way. So it's definitely not going to be like a for rest of my life thing. The therapist predicted that it would probably take me a year to like 3 to 5 years before I can get weaned off of it, but he sees a bright future, and for that, even though I didn't really want to be on antidepressants, I'm willing to give it a shot, because the sooner I can get to a place where I was before, where I start feeling normal, I start feeling happy, I start being able to actually role play and type and craft and feel the need to do all this stuff, that's when I'll know that I'm better. Is when I can sit down and write without feeling just this weight, where I can come home and actually feel like doing the dishes or doing the laundry or stuff like that, because to me, that type of shit is daunting. I don't feel like doing it, and I have to like force myself to do all this stuff, and I force myself and it shouldn't, like, yeah, chores are chores, but it shouldn't feel like I'm dragging my feet, and that's what I feel like I'm doing. And that's one of the telltale signs of depression, at least in my case, was that I have issues like that where I feel like I'm dragging my feet, and I feel like about everything, and I don't want to feel that feeling anymore. So this is all huge, and I'm very happy about that. I'm finally getting the ball rolling. I'm finally taking the baby steps towards fixing and getting a better mental health state, and just getting things to the place where I'm happy again. And in addition to that, I'm also going to be getting properly diagnosed with my dyslexia finally. Because aside from it, like me personally wanting a diagnosis to be like, this is legit, like it's not just like, obviously I know I have it, but like on paper, legit stamped, like that's what I want, is also going to help the therapist understand how I think, how I understand things. Also probably will be in conjunction with anxiety and stuff, especially like when I talk and stuff like that. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain myself, where writing, it's a lot easier for me to explain myself, so it kind of all ties together. So I'll be finally getting a diagnosis in regards to my dyslexia or any other learning disability that I may have. He doesn't think I have any other type necessarily, but we're covering all the bases, right? So I'm overall happy. When I said in my previous May Wine Dollies episode, that I'm going to start posting videos twice a week to catch up on all the videos I missed. I'm working towards my mental health. I'm working towards this type of stuff. I honestly had not thought that it would happen so quickly. I thought I'd be waiting a few more months before I got this phone call and I got this therapist meeting. And the fact that it's happening now and I'm finally put my foot in the door and I'm starting to climb up that set of stairs is making me feel a lot better. There's a lot of weight taken off my shoulders, as I mentioned, and overall I just feel like I'm going in the right direction finally. That isn't to say it's not going to be hard. That isn't to say that days like today and yesterday where I filmed a video late at night and I posted it late, that I don't feel that begrudging feeling of like I don't want to do this. I still do. And it sucks, but at the same time I am doing absolutely all I can to push through it. And I'm finally getting the mental health help that I need for my mental health and to get over this curveball, because I dwell, I overthink, and if something bothers me, it doesn't stop, and it loops and it loops and it loops and it loops, and it takes me forever to get over something that bothers me. And the fact that I'm getting help for that and I can maybe ease out of that situation, or at least make it easier to comprehend and to manage, is the world to me right now, because I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to feel shitty. I have fun playing video games. I do smile, I do laugh, but I would say almost 85 to 95% of the time, I don't feel happy inside. And luckily it's not to the point of anything drastic, but I want to be able to type like I used to. And my role playing has always helped me through dark times and difficult times. And it's only when I have depressive episodes that I can't write. And the fact that I haven't been able to properly write in almost a year makes me know that there's something still wrong. And the second that I'm able to type again, where I feel good and I can type, I can craft, I can do all that stuff like I've mentioned, that's when I know that things are going in the right direction, that things are still going in the right direction, that things are getting better. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's all good. It's all good. I'm a little upset about the antidepressant stuff because I'd prefer not to take medication, but I'm open to it to help, as long as I can obviously get weaned off later and won't need it later on in life, or hopefully won't need it later on in life. And overall, despite the crying and the depression that's still lingering right now, I feel a lot better. I know I'm going in the right direction, and I just want to say thank you guys for like sticking around during my journey and stuff, and commenting, being here, watching my videos, and just overall like being here during this, because if it wasn't for you guys here on my YouTube channel and those that watch me on Twitch when I play League of Legends, I honestly and Storm has helped a lot too. Like, if it wasn't for you guys, my spending and everything, I don't know how I would be right now. So I wanted to say thank you guys so much for sticking around, for listening to me in my times of need, and for just being here and helping me smile and get through some of my days. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. That's it for the update. It's pretty, it's almost 20 minutes. It is a pretty big update, but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on and that things are probably going to start changing a little bit in the next few months while I start at the antidepressants, and hopefully they're the right ones, or if I have to swap them or what have you. Like, it's going to be interesting for the next little while. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!